Imagine trying to answer a simple question from everyday life. Why do we use zero? At first, the answer may seem obvious, but when we slow down, we find a chain of causes working under the surface. The short answer is that we use zero because it represents nothing as a number and makes modern place value mathematics possible. That answer matters because it affects ordinary choices, not just experts or institutions. Think about the difference between 5, 50, and 500 depending on where the zero sits. In that moment, something small is doing a lot of work. It is shaping attention, expectations, memory, and judgment. Human beings do not move through the world like machines collecting perfect facts. We notice some things and miss others. We react emotionally before we explain our reactions. We use shortcuts because life is too complex to analyze from the beginning every time. First, zero is a placeholder. In our number system, the position of a digit matters, and zero marks an empty position so the value stays clear. This first step matters because attention is the doorway to everything else. If a fact, message, number, or pattern never gets noticed, it cannot influence a decision. But once it does get noticed, the mind starts connecting it to what it already knows. That connection may be accurate, incomplete, or biased, depending on the situation. Second, zero is a number in its own right. It lets us describe none, balance a debt and payment, or mark a starting point on a scale. This is where context becomes powerful. The same information can feel different depending on who says it, when it appears, what emotions surround it, and what we already believe. A person may think they are simply reacting to reality, but often they are reacting to reality plus a frame, a mental border that tells them what the situation means. Third, zero makes calculation more powerful. Algebra, negative numbers, coordinates, computers, and scientific measurement all depend on treating zero consistently. This does not mean people are foolish. It means people are practical. We have limited time, limited memory, and limited attention. Shortcuts help us survive and act quickly, but they can also lead us toward mistakes when the situation is complex or when someone else is trying to influence us. That is why clear thinking often begins with a pause. The pause gives us time to ask what evidence is being used, what has been left out, and whether the first impression is the whole story. There is also a social side. We learn from other people. We copy, question, trust, doubt, and adjust based on the groups around us. A belief or behavior can spread not only because it is true or useful, but because it feels normal, urgent, impressive, comforting, or shared by people we respect. Once enough people treat an idea as obvious, it becomes harder for any one person to step back and examine it. Zero seems simple because we learn it early, but it was one of humanity's most important mathematical ideas. It gave nothing a symbol, and that changed what numbers could do. The practical lesson is not to reject every message, number, story, or feeling. The lesson is to become a more careful interpreter. Ask where the information came from. Ask what incentives are behind it. Ask whether there is a better comparison, a missing base rate, a stronger source, or another explanation. When we do that, the world becomes less mysterious. We still make human judgments, but we make them with more awareness and fewer hidden strings pulling in the background.